Afternoon, folks. Colson River Retreat here, John, and we're back on the sawmill today. I've got this red oak here that is about 20 inches in diameter. It's a little bit curved, and so I'm having to modify it a little bit to fit on the sawmill. I've already cut this side off a little bit, squared up this face a little bit, and trying to get it to where it fit. I haven't tried to run the sawmill down it yet, but I've got the chainsaw here. We'll modify a little bit if we have to. What we're going to try to do today is do a little bit of quarter sawn, or kind of quarter sawn. So I'm not going to cut it in 4 quarters and then roll it and do all this other stuff. You know, I'm by myself. I don't have a hydraulic mill, so I'm going to try to make some shortcuts and get basically quarter sawn. So I think I'm going to leave a 6x6 in the center here where the pith is. So we'll basically make a 6x6 out of this. And I'll be honest with you, this looks like a really pretty good heartwood. I might make that a 4x4. Let's make that a 4x4 because I really like the look of this wood. Well, we'll see. So I want to cut it into 6x6 so I can cut 6-inch pieces that I can get down to about 5.5 boards that will be 5/4 by 5.5 when I'm done with it. So there's a benefit to making that 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a slice off the top, basically get rid of this white layer. I'm going to roll it 180 degrees, take this layer off the bottom here. Okay, then I'm going to rotate it, take this layer off here, take this layer off here, and get fairly close to a square cant to work with. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice, depending on which way I'm facing. I'll probably be facing this side down. So then I'll take all the way through here. Okay. So I'll have this slab. And then I'll come back and take all the way through here. And I'll pull this off. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this back up on here with this one. Then we'll roll these till they're face up like this, and we'll squish them together. And then I will cut like this and get mostly quarter sawn through here. And then these will be a little bit less quarter sawn, but I don't have any use for a triangle piece. So I might as well get some pieces out of it that I can get. Okay. And then we'll take these 2 pieces, put them back on the sawmill together. And then we'll cut and get some quarter sawn that way. That'll be pretty close to quarter sawn. And so hopefully, so this will be about what, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces or so out of each of these. So that'd be 4, 8, and hopefully close to the same out of here. So it'd be 16 to 20 pieces of quarter sawn. So I don't know. It's a 20-inch log. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're going to test out the microphone and see how it works with the saw running. I'm going to try to do a better job of letting you guys hear me canceling out the noise. But so you'll see that I've got these angle supports on here, trying to keep the log from rocking as much. You might have noticed that on previous videos. That's what they're here for. I obviously can't clamp this size log on here, so this is what it's meant for. So we're going to give it a try and see what it does. Now, since it fit through here once, if I set it up, it should fit through again. And these faces should be parallel since it's sitting flat. Theoretically. I didn't get much of a face on that one, so I'll take another inch off. So I'm gonna go and turn this off, save some gas and save some noise. Honestly, historically, this next rotation has been the most difficult for me to get set up, to try to get the log to sit still. Now, I did shave off a face to get it to fit through the saw, so maybe that'll help. But I'm not super happy or confident with that chances. We'll see. Maybe for once it'll go smoothly. But thankfully I've got an excavator. Fairly confident this would be impossible for me to do without it. Well, not too shabby. Maybe I'm getting a little bit better at it. Now, it's not all the way over against this one, so I've got to maneuver it still. But if I can keep it from rolling, I can maneuver it in place and try to get it perpendicular to the mill. Okay. So let's start with this side. Oh, already losing my clamp. Okay, see how close that is. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. So this blade's fairly new. I put it on yesterday and I cut just a little bit of a bench out of one of the other red oak logs. And that's pretty freaking close already to square. All right, slide this over. Physics, pay attention to school. Leverage. Pay attention to gym muscles. It's pretty close. All right, let's check it one more time. So open at the bottom here. Open at the bottom. So it needs to rotate a little bit that way. So this tool is called a PV or a cant hook. There are differences. Can't say as I exactly know the difference. I think it has to do with what's on the point here. If it's a pointy point or a square point. I don't know if I moved that at all. I don't think I did. But I think we're good. Square it up a little bit more when we get it cut off a little bit. So, all right, here we go. All right. You know, in all honesty, that's probably too aggressive. Probably should have done that in 2 cuts. But I'm probably going to get down to that level anyway. It's a little bit deep. All right. I had that one in there good. Pivot. I definitely need to roll it. Get this face square. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Ripping bark off. This ain't working out great, is it? I think I moved that. I think time for some equipment. See if I can roll it. I've overcorrected. I'm hoping when I lower it down, it'll rotate back a little bit. Whoops. A little adjustment. It looks pretty close. Very close. Go with it. So we should be able to have this one clamp on here, be able to go with it. All right, so I apologize, I lost you there for a minute. The GoPro was getting a little hot, it's a little warm out. So I cut that log in half. It's definitely not gonna work out exactly like I intended because of the curvature of the log, and but we're still gonna get some pieces out of it. So we're gonna cut this straight through here. So we'll definitely get some quarter sawn pieces through some of it, definitely some down here, but it is what it is. It's 7 inches about. So we'll take what we can get. All right, so the day is done pretty much. I've got to go water the sunflowers and wildflowers and watermelon. We don't get rain till maybe Tuesday, and tomorrow's a busy day, so I'm gonna go water them today. Hopefully that'll do the trick. So I was able to get that log sawn. I'm gonna go with good idea, medium execution, poor log choice. It was a 20-inch log, but it just had too much movement in it, so by the time you could get square faces, it was just too small. I ended up getting 18 pieces of 5/4 by 7-inch by 8-foot out of it, to be used for future purposes. And I think by the time I square them up and plane them, you know, maybe a solid 3/4 by 5.5, maybe tongue and groove, we'll see, or some type of lap maybe, I don't know. But overall pleased with how that turned out. There was a knot about halfway through it, or actually 2 knots that were coming up through it from previous limbs, and so that's certainly going to make it interesting, but could limit its utility. This is the last piece of white oak that I got, or red oak that I've got cut up right now. So we've done 3 logs, if I'm not mistaken, at least, and then I've cut up a few other in the meantime. I think there was a smaller one that was about 16 inches that I cut up. So I figured out what was wrong with the mill. The right side cable support was loose, and so it wasn't properly supporting it. So that explains a couple things. Number one, why it wouldn't go up and down well, which was progressively getting worse. So I'm guessing it had worked its way loose. And number two, why we may have been cutting at a slight angle. So I got it tightened up, and then I went in there and I adjusted and got it within, you know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch side to side level. So we're certainly far closer than we were before. So we'll see how that turns out with future cutting. So we'll cut this up here in the near future probably. So the GoPro cut out on us from overheating, and I'm gonna have to figure that out as well. Not sure where it cut out at, but I do know that you missed me falling on my face as I was crossing over the track, and I looked up to see if the red light was blinking, and it wasn't. So for good or bad, we didn't get that on camera. Probably for good. My wife would not like seeing that probably, although she would laugh at it, but she wouldn't, thinking I'm going to hurt myself. So anyways, so let's go get to watering, and we'll check you guys out later. Thanks for watching.